Hello, everyone. Welcome to our show, our weekly show, episode 64.
Wow. Went on 64.
Welcome. If you're here for the first time, this is a really warm and loving and supportive community. And if you're here on Facebook, come over to the chat room on the YouTube side. There's a whole family over there chatting with each other. And you'll get to be one of the family soon.
Yeah.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, we ask you to please do so. That you can find the information below our video in YouTube. Hit the bell, and the like button helps the stream quality. And if you like the show, leave a comment below. We got a lot of comments last week for our Bob Dylan birthday show. And we like reading your comments and, of course, the chat. Happy birthday, Liz Freeman. She watches every week. She's visiting her family in North Carolina, so hi to the whole family. And this episode we are calling Myth, Magic, and Mystery Part 2. So we have, this is like a continuation of the episode from a few weeks ago. These are all original songs, these last few themed shows. But we have some surprises in store in this. We have two big surprises in this episode.
Yeah, later on.
Later on. One is that we're going to be debuting a new song, and we won't tell you what the other one is, but it's a big announcement. So maybe we should just kick off with some music. What do you say, Pete?
Yeah.
This is a song from our debut album, River of Fallen Stars, which came out in 1995. Song. It's a very mystical song, written in Ireland. Run the Red Horses. We wrote that in...
Off to a running start.
We were in Ireland when we wrote that on our first tour. Yeah. So I love all the people who are guessing what our big news is, but you have to wait for it. This next song is... we missed going to summer camp last year, and we're going to miss it this year too. But I wrote this song after we did another one like this last week. I wrote this song during one of the songwriting workshops I was leading, and it was the day we were doing a walking meditation. We did that a couple of times. It was very fruitful for songwriting, and this is one that we were just walking through the woods, and I got this idea about.
It's about driving to camp and then hiking when you get to camp.
I just gave the wrong intro. Actually, this was a songwriting assignment that Bob Franke gave me.
Oh,
He's one of those songwriting teachers that says, write what you know about. And he says, well, you're on the road a lot, right? Back then we were. Mm-hmm. And he said, write a song about road signs. And I thought that was a terrible idea. And then I wrote this song, which
you realized
it turned out to be a good thing. This is called Signs. 1, 2, 3, 4. This highway's littered with signs, taxed with tolls and fed by fines, yield and merge converging lines, mind the posted limit. This road is covered in gravel, tires digging wherever I travel. I'm not careful, it'll unravel, gone in a careless minute. I'm trading tires for boots, tar for dirt and leaves and roots, stepping over fiddlehead shoots that point down the pathway yonder. These woods are emerald green, dragonflies buzz by unseen. Eyes adjust, my heart is clean and begs my soul to wander. Start bleeding through the trees, smell the water, feel the breeze, trade my days for more of these hours of peaceful pleasure. This beach will lead me down to your waters far from town. Dip my toe in, swim or drown, or dive for deeper treasure. So you can write a song about anything if you want.
Yeah, if you're a songwriter. I had to make an off-road recovery in the solo there. That note was eluding me.
Right.
But eventually I caught up with it.
You just got to
It's
follow the
A
path.
few beats later than it normally would have been, but it got there eventually. That's the important
Hey,
thing.
as long as you start the song right and you end the song right, it doesn't really matter what happens in the middle. Hey y'all, that's a really great endorsement for reminding you that we accept your tips, even if we make mistakes, because this has been our only gig for the last 14 months. And we've been very fortunate to have such kind people in our audience. So if you are willing and able to help us out, it really does help. And you can send your optional tips. They're always optional because these shows are all free. Optional tips to us at venmo.com/the_Kennedys. And you can also send optional tips to us at paypal.me/thekennedysmusic. It's so helpful. You can have, if you go to our website, you can see our tip jar and our future videos and all other sorts of stuff at kennedysmusic.com. That's our advertisement for now. The next song. This song is an outtake from our River of Fallen Stars album. And I remember when we wrote it because we were at Skyland.
It's an outtake from Life is Large.
Oh, right.
That ended up on the
River.
reissue of River.
Because it sounded more like River than Life.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, because we wrote it when we were on at Skyline Drive. We were staying in a cabin for about 4 days, 4 or 5 days writing. And one day we walked down from our cabin to the lodge through the woods. There was a little path and it was very foggy. And we're walking and the fog got more and more dense. And we had to stop in the middle of the path because we couldn't see where we were going. We thought we'll just stop and wait for the fog to lift. And it started to lift, and the very first thing that we saw were eyes, and then another pair of eyes, and then another pair of eyes. It was like one of those cartoons. We were surrounded by pairs of eyes. And as the fog lifted further, we realized we were in the middle of a ring of deer. I still get the chills thinking about that, but we went back up to the cabin and we wrote this song. And
we wrote it right away, right? When we got back from that hike.
Yeah. And Pete's going to play the guitar. Fog rolls down the mountainside, blue sky turns to gray. Sudden wings as I close my eyes, the rain-soaked weeds slip away. Standing free in the cloudy woods with silent rain all around. Fog rolls off my velvet boots and dream crossing takes me down. Down the lanes of the silken swift, the maverick angels sing. Muffled sounds of their wishing drums out where the river bells ring. Santa foxfire and columbine hangs in the air like frost. Fog rolls round the midnight gate, deep in the limber lost. Like a dream cloak around my neck, thunder is heavy in the air. The sky is streaked with angel fire. Oh, did you carve it there? Do the rain clouds have a father? And who knows the treasures of the snow? When the morning stars sang as one, who laid the corner Did you hear a little rumble of thunder while we were
I
doing
did,
that?
yeah. It kind
That
of
was
went right
kind of
with the song.
spooky. I love when stuff like that happens.
It was like a deliberate sound effect right at the right time.
We're gonna do a song that we call this. We have a genre for this song. We call it Buddha Holly. It's the Buddha Holly song. This is from our 500,000 Miles album.
Yeah.
Ready?
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Buddha says everything's on fire, everything's on fire, everything's on fire. Buddha says everything's on fire, better find a deep, cool pond. Buddha says your blood's on fire, blood's on fire, your blood's on fire. Buddha says your blood's on fire, better find a deep, cool pond. Buddha says your mind's on fire, mind's on fire, your mind's on fire. Buddha says your mind's on fire, better find a deep, cool pond. Buddha says your soul's on fire, your soul's on fire, your soul's on fire. Buddha says your soul's on fire, better find a deep, cool pond. Buddha says the world's on fire, the world's on fire, the world's on fire. Buddha says the world's on fire, you better find a deep, cool pond. Buddha says everything's on fire, everything's on fire, everything is on fire. Buddha says everything's on fire, you better find a deep, cool pond.
Yeah.
Buddy Holly ending.
That concept
Buddha Holly.
of time being like fire, that was in a Bob Dylan song last week, Caught in the Fires of Time. And there was a Greek, Heraclitus, who also said that. And then the character, the iconic figure Buddha, had this sermon called the Vulture Peak sermon, where he said the same thing. So that's kind of like a running theme.
Hey, should we do, speaking of running themes, take a second and show our latest trail cam footage?
Yeah.
Because the first week we had the birds stealing our fiber from our hanging thing. And then last week we had a
The raccoon,
raccoon
eating the cookies.
eating the cookies. This week is a chipmunk stopped by for a bit of apple. Here we go. Oh.
It's like the raccoon, he's got that guilty look on his face,
does
looking
have a-
around.
It's got a guilty look. Well, let's do another song from our first album because that's that's probably our most mystical album since
A
we're
song,
doing myth, magic, and mystery.
song from over in Ireland that we wrote
Yep.
over there.
This is called Fortune Teller Road.
Yep.
2, 3, 4.
Hawk dreams and sacred fire, water signs and stones. Down around the spirit There's a lonely meeting place of fortune teller. River gods and holy altars, midnight rain and bones. There's a lonely meeting place of fortune teller.
Myth, magic, and mystery and music.
Yeah, that does remind me of being over in Ireland.
Well, this next song is one of those kinds of songs that I wrote this from reading a book, which I do quite a bit. And my sister's got her library upstairs. She files everything by color of the spine, and somehow she's able to find any book she's looking for.
But it works, yeah.
So the book I read, this was in the white spine section, and it's funny because for a while, every time I would find this book in a used shop, I would buy it and give it to people because I liked it so much. It was the shipping news. I loved that book, and it's in the white section. My sister's got, I think, 3 copies of it, right, all right next to each other. So if anybody needs a copy of the shipping news, we can send one to you for free. Anyway, this is I wrote this after reading that story. And it's a very spooky story, the book is, and so is the song. It's called Down, Down, Down. I can taste it, tip of my tongue. Ooh, tip of my tongue. It's a sweet wine, I swirl it around. It goes down, down, down. Now I see it, edge of the sea. See it, edge of the sea. There's a ship out on the cold black deep, going down, down, down. Now I feel it chilling the air. Ooh, chilling the air. There's a gray fog and some call it fear, coming down, down, down. So you've pulled me Spooky. Another spooky song.
I did a little trick at the beginning of that I saw actually Jimi Hendrix do.
Yeah.
When I saw him, he did. He just played the guitar in all different ways, kind of, that other people didn't do. And one of the things he did was he would get a sound going on a chord, and then he would tap on the back of the neck like that, like you could play the D minor chord. And then without using your hands on the strings anymore, just keep tapping the back of the neck, and it makes it
Keep that going. Keep that going, because somebody just, a few people just noted that that song sounded like another one. I'll just play a little bit of it. In Ottoman town, not a soul would look up, not a soul would look up, not a soul would look down, not a soul would look up, not a soul would look down, to show me the way to fair Ottoman town. Met the king and the queen, and a company more, come riding behind me, and marching before, come a start to get drunk, a beat in the drum, with his hands on his bosom, come marching along. Sat down on a hard, cold frozen stone. 10,000 stood around me, but I was alone. Took my head in my hands, for to keep my head warm. 10,000 got drowned that never was born. In Ottoman town, not a soul would look up, not a soul would look up, not a soul would look down, not a soul would look up, not a soul would look down, to show me the way to fair Ottoman town.
Come, you masters of
Oh.
war.
We could do a whole show of that, couldn't we?
Yeah,
Good call,
yeah.
y'all. That was
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite real folk songs.
Yes.
When I first heard that, that just totally freaked me out.
This next song is kind of freaky. It's another freaky. This is another one of our songs. I don't think we've ever played this song live. Not once. Not in these live streams. And I don't think we've ever played it live. Even though it's the title track of one of our albums.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, we got the sitar. 'Cause
This song, another one of those songs that you write it, and then years later, it's certain lyrics are relevant,
Yeah.
and this song is kind of one of those. Unfortunately, but
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Lightning strikes, banshee streams, turn it into better dreams. Reason torn at the seams, what we give for better dreams, what we give for better dreams. Superstition, arcane things, laying waste to better dreams. Senses stretched to extremes. Put your faith in better dreams. Put your faith in better dreams.
That's like a new song for us.
Even though
we
it's
wrote it like 12 years ago.
I
but
know, a long
but
time
we never
ago.
sang it till now.
Never did. Pete, as you may all recall, recently put out a solo album. It's an I'm going to put up the cover. Electric Sitar Meditations. And we're going to do a song from that just because the sitar plays so prominently in this episode. We thought we would give it its own little bit of solo. We need to tune this too.
This is a little snippet that's on the album, on the Electric Sitar Meditations album, and it's actually a Spanish piece. It's part of a concerto by Joaquin Rodrigo, and I'm sure he based it on a folk melody from Spain. And it's called Aranjuez Mon Amour.
They don't call it meditations for nothing. The whole album is all solo instrumental, all solo sitar songs. Very meditative and soothing.
I think the droning quality
Yeah.
of it is what kind of puts your brain in that place.
Well, now, if you're interested in picking up that album, you can find it on our website. If you go to our website, you will also notice that, Pete, in addition to his record, has put out his acclaimed book, Tone, Twain, and Taste. It's a memoir. And it's time for our big announcement. Because during this lockdown, Pete has been writing. People always said, how about another book? But this time, he's gone into uncharted territory for himself and has written a novel. And it's coming out very soon. I'm going to ask you about it in a second, but before we do, I wanted to show you the cover of the book because one of our regular listeners, viewers, she's on right now, did the artwork for us, and it is so beautiful and so perfect for this book. I will show you a picture of it. Jen Lennox did this. Isn't that gorgeous?
Wow.
Can you see
I love that cover.
It's such a beautiful cover. Yeah. It's called Floodwood. Pete, why don't you tell them a little bit about Floodwood? I'm going to go around and turn your microphone up because Pete's going to read you a little bit to give you an idea what it's about.
Floodwood is an actual place. It's a canoe trail. And actually, we went there last summer. That's kind of when I got the idea to write the book. It's a canoe trail in the middle of the Adirondacks. And I just came up with this story about a group, sort of like the Explorers Club, but it's an imaginary group of geographers who travel around the world exploring and doing archaeological work, but actually they're international art thieves. And a misadventure happens at Floodwood on the lake in Adirondack State Park, and it sets off a chain of events that goes all around the world, over to France and India and Japan and up in the Himalayas and in Nepal, and it involves a member of the club who was not a criminal, who well, I don't want to give away too much, but he teams up with a professor from Sarah Lawrence College right here in Westchester, and she's a medieval history professor who makes her own crossbows. So these two team up and they travel around the world fighting this international art heist ring.
I love how, while we're in lockdown and unable to travel, you wrote this travel book. I mean, it's not a travel book, but it takes place all over the planet.
It's travel. It's got a lot of mythology, and it's got some magic, and it's got a monster, and it's
Something
got
for
little bits of
everyone.
horror movie.
And
Something for everybody.
And yes,
And like all mystery stories, it has to start with a misadventure. So I'm just going to read you the very first chapter, which is very, very short. The book, once again, is called Floodwood. The first chapter is called Carcajou, and it's set in October 1920, Adirondack State Park. A twig snapped. Cardonas woke suddenly. There was a rustling sound behind the tent. He lit a match and squinted at his pocket watch. It was 4 a.m. He lay in his sleeping bag, frozen in fear. High in the white pine, an owl shrieked. Another twig snapped, this time directly in front of the tent. Cardonas crawled forward, too terrified to lie still. Maybe he could make a dash to the canoe, push off, and be safe in open water. He untied the twine and opened the flaps. He was staring directly into a pair of blazing yellow eyes. That's all I'm going to tell you.
that's all you
You
get.
got to read the rest of the book.
So yeah, that is Floodwood. Artwork by Jen Lennox, beautiful artwork, and that's coming out on the same people, High Point Lit, that put out your Tone, Twang, and Taste are publishing this, and it's coming out June 15th is the when it hits the street, as they say, when it drops.
The print book, the real book.
And but you can pre-order it on our website right now. It's up there. So if you go to our website, if you've been to it recently, you might have to refresh the screen to get the latest content. But it's up there, and you can order it right away. Floodwood. Oh, I'm going to go turn the mic back down again. You can introduce the next.
It's really fun writing fiction.
Yeah.
I loved it. You make up characters, and they become real. After working on the book for several months, I totally believed these were real people. The professor with the crossbow, and
Yeah.
everything. I feel like I know them.
Well, we're going to move right along here to a dedication. Pat and Beth Long have been married for 50 years. They're celebrating their 50th
great.
anniversary this week. And so we're going to send this one out. Pat asked for this to be dedicated to Beth. We'll dedicate it to both of them and wish them a happy anniversary. And this fits with our theme because it's about the mystery of birth and death and the cycle that just goes on and on and on. The cycle of birth and rebirth. This
Yeah,
is called
yeah.
Breathe. 2, 3, 4.
Didn't we all die? Didn't we all die at the start? Aren't we alright? Aren't we alright for the most part? Is there really an end to all of this? Just a beginning, another beginning, so why resist? Take a breath, let it out, let it in. Just begin again.
Happy anniversary, Pat and Beth. 50 more years we wish you.
Yeah.
Well, as you recall, last week was our Dylan special, and this song we wrote and named it after Bob Dylan's publishing company.
Yeah.
Oddly. Because even when Bob Dylan names his publishing company,
That's
it's poetic.
too. Yeah, yeah. This is about kind of an enigmatic, sort of prophet type guy who wanders around. It's called Ashes and Sand. 2, 3.
Old man fighting with the angels. Who would ever think you could be lonely now? Everybody's trying to put lies in your mouth, and I don't want among them that would even know how. Old man, ashes and sand, the words of the prophets are at your command. Old man, ashes and sand, how you gonna wash away the blood from your hands? You travel around from town to town with nothing but your wares to sell, trudging like a judge with a worn out gavel, preaching like a pilgrim at the gates of hell. Old man, ashes and sand, the words of the prophets are at your command. Old man, ashes and sand, how you gonna wash away the blood from your hands? Isis is your only queen. Your feet shift slowly in the desert sand. Like Skip James, you'd rather be the devil, gazing down the Nile at the bottom land. Old man, ashes and sand, the words of the prophets are at your command. Old man, ashes and sand, how you gonna wash away the blood from your hands? Carney shows and two-bit operas, feeling like a sharpie with a thin mustache. How many shills are on your payroll? Fade into the shadows and you're paid in cash. Old man, ashes and sand, the words of the prophets are at your command. Old man, ashes and sand, how you gonna wash away the blood from your hands? Old man, ashes and sand, the angels and the devils are at your command. Old man, ashes and sand, how you gonna wash away the blood from your hands?
I love that tremolo.
Yeah, tremolo is great, isn't it?
That's cool.
It's got the swamps in it.
Yeah. We have a brand new song.
Oh, this is
We
gonna be
mentioned
fun.
this earlier that we have a brand new song. And it's so new that I'm actually going to read lyrics. I know I never do that. And I always tell people, like, when we do performance workshops at camp, I always say, don't ever read your lyrics because then you can't connect with your audience. But if it's a brand new song, I mean, I really don't
It's,
have.
I think it's
didn't-
cool. It's like it's still kind of in progress. I mean, it might even change a little bit from
The ink
where
is
it's at
still
right
wet, as they say.
now. But we wanted to share it.
Well, here's how this song came about. You know, we've been staying at my sister and brother-in-law's house, and we have our own little porch, and it looks down over the hill, over the town of Tarrytown. We can see the Hudson River, but as the spring rains continued, everything started to grow, and the view, the trees sort of encroached on our river view. Now we can't see the river at all. We're just like, and we thought about the concept of taking a green bath.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that is? When you're out in nature, you're taking a green bath.
Over in Japan, they call it the green bath.
The green bath. So we took that idea, and we call this song the Forest Bath. It's brand new, brand new this week. Let's see if I can remember how it goes. Okay.
I wondered once where evening lingers. I saw my face in a crystal pool, a weeping tree with artist's fingers turned my reflection to tarot's fool. A goddess there in cool green velvet spoke from the spring in a rippling voice, a sound so pure I could not move, and so I listened. I had no choice. Settle into the forest path, set upon the burning path. The trees will tell you you're not alone. They called you here. Welcome home. I'll play me. She held me there for 7 seasons, and on that day when she set me free, she stroked my hair and gave her blessing, and then she said these words to me. She said, I brought you here deep in the forest. There is a task that you're called to do against the dark and evil forces. One must bring light, that one is you. Settle into the forest path, set upon the burning path. The trees will tell you you're not alone. They called you here. Welcome
The banjo sounds like the dripping coming off the trees.
Yeah,
You know?
like it. Like
Wow. So we're probably going to run overtime because we always do. But we want to get all the requests in. Michael D. told us that he loves this song from our Life is Large album. He said it's his favorite song from our Life is Large album. And it just so happens that it fits the theme. So we're going to do this for Michael. This is the...
it's definitely about the myth part because
def-
it's based on the Odyssey.
and then stay tuned because we're going to tell you all about next week.
Ready?
Yeah.
3, 4.
Rolling a wish between your fingers. Haven't you heard the sound before? Isn't the song that rings like morning? Only the wind and nothing more. In the dark you can hear the sirens tolling your note on the midnight bell. High on the cliffs of the fallen angels, singing the song that you know so when the dawn spreads her rosy fingers over the island where poppies bloom, lie asleep but the song still lingers. Sailor, beware of the siren's
That was a cool ending.
Yeah. You do the ending different all the
Yeah,
time.
it's always different.
Just fades out and then you play something.
All right, folks, next week, the theme for next week's show is America. All songs about America that we've written. And also, because gun violence has become one of the defining features of modern American life, we're going to include a special feature next week because it's also Wear Orange to End Gun Violence Weekend next week from June 4th to June 6th. We're going to be wearing orange next week, and we're going to be singing about America and the good and the bad of all that, mostly the good.
Yeah.
But this last song we're gonna lay on you is another outtake. This was an outtake from the River of Fallen Stars album, and it's a really nice song. The only reason we took it off the album was we thought it sounded a little too close to Spirit Compass, which is a really pretty song. So we're going to send this out to Frank and Judy because Spirit Compass is their favorite song. This is sort of the sister song to that.
Another song we wrote in Ireland.
Yeah, and this one, it came out on the reissue of River of Fallen Stars with a bunch of other outtakes. And this is called Send Air a Blessing. It's a good song to send you on your way. Yeah. Another Sunday. Ready? 2, 3, 4.
Dream pouches dangle on the sendera. The lanterns are hung. All bright tomorrows will echo like gold down on the path where the green songs are sung.
Yeah, thank you all so much for being here, and a special blessing to all those whose memories we honor this weekend, for those who gave the
Memorial Day.
ultimate sacrifice. And we'll be back here next week singing songs about, we've traveled all over the world, but we've traveled a whole lot in this country, in America. And we put a lot of our insights into our songs. So we're going to be singing those for you next week.
Yeah, we've traveled all over this country, and when we go from state to state, we don't see red and blue, we see people. So that's what the songs we've written about America are about. That's what
right.
we'll be singing next week.
So be sure and check in on our website for the book, the new book, and information on the next video and all things Kennedy's. There's also one gig. We've got one live gig coming up in August, outdoors. So we are very excited about that.
It's advanced sales, right?
It's advanced sales, and it's a limited capacity. So I don't know how they're doing right now. They're probably sold out by now because we announced it a few weeks ago. But you can get information on the kennedysmusic.com. And please stay safe. Thanks again so much, everyone, for your support of the show. It's really kept us going. And we will see you here right back, same time, same place next week. Peace.